Greetings again, everybody, and welcome back to the fascinating world of Contra. And we're now gonna play what probably is the least interesting level of the game, Base 2. Well, it's much like the first base level, except it is different colors now. Also, some cores are protected by a shield, which we have to destroy before we can actually destroy the core. And that makes this level take slightly longer than the first one. But don't worry, we will get through this in a speedy fashion. Contra isn't exactly known for being a long game with long levels and long cutscenes and long. No. It's short, but sweet. Aside from that, actually, it's not a bad level. Compared to the first base level, this is actually better, at least in my opinion. It's just kind of redundant with the first one being there already. This doesn't really add that much to the formula. Like, yeah, it's just different colors and shields now. And those don't even show up always. Which is kinda good, because it would only drag things out. So, while we go through the rest of this, I'm just gonna go ahead and delight you with a little fun fact about the game's cover art I have only found out recently myself. See, I called the characters Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone. I was joking, of course, but guess who the characters were actually modeled after on the cover art? Well, the left guy was based on a pose of Arnold Schwarzenegger from the movie Commando, and the right one was based, well, also on a pose of Arnold Schwarzenegger in the movie Commando. Yeah, no Sylvester Stallone here. However, on the cover art for the second Contra game, Super Contra, Lance, the black-haired guy, was in fact modeled after Sylvester Stallone. But hey, now we're at the boss. It's very similar to the first one. Be sure to destroy the gun first and then the cores. After that, you have this. You won't be able to see it due to the frame rate, but those things are actually four things facing back and forth, flickering so to speak, and you can only harm them whenever they overlap. Now I already destroyed the first one, and since the projectiles they shoot can be shot, it's not difficult at all, honestly. It can be a little bit challenging if you do it with a pea shooter, but even then, it's more than just doable. So, after this riveting cutscene that really pushes the plot forward by a mile, we can start playing what is, well, my favorite level of the game, the snowfield. So the Japanese version also has some visual differences from the rest of the world versions. Yeah, mostly it's animation. Here it is snow and moving trees. In the first level, we also had moving palm trees that weren't in the European or US versions of the game. Here it's kind of interesting though, because the snow actually adds to the challenge. There's more stuff going on the screen, and the snow kind of looks like bullets. Though the game is nice enough to make the bullets that the enemies shoot in this level red, to distinguish them more from the white that's everywhere here. Would be kinda hard to play the level without it. So, this level also has grenades. They can't harm you while they're in the air, only the explosions actually damage you. If you keep that in mind, it's actually really easy to get through. This level is actually laid out in a way that makes it possible to just run through it and never stop. However, it's not that easy to do, and I kinda wanna play it safe, doing no hit and all that. So, here's an amazing mini-boss. Just look at it. Yeah. You're completely safe as long as you stick to the leftmost part of the screen. It'll change color if you damage it, just so you know that you've damaged it enough. And it's actually just a damage race. Well, not a damage race since you're not supposed to get hit. It is, well, it's a test to see how well you can mash buttons. Twice. If you're slow enough, it's actually possible to die that way. But it's not a thing that should happen a lot. In fact, it's happened all but once to myself. And that was the first time I did it. as like a 4-year-old. Or maybe I was 7, I don't even know. And the reason I love this level so much, by the way, is that you can rush it if you want to, but you can also wait it out with the grenades and all that. Later levels with gimmicks don't do it that much. But oh, a boss. It's not really challenging with a spread gun. It is kind of with a pea shooter. It's not that hard though, because all of the bosses were actually designed in a way that makes it very possible to kill them just with a pea shooter. In fact, the entire game is designed around that, so maybe I should have actually done a pea shooter challenge instead of a no-hit run. Maybe a no-hit run with a pea shooter. That would have been actually kinda interesting, I have to say. Someone not me should get on that. Level 6, the energy zone. I kind of really like it and I kind of don't at the same time, but you will be able to see why that is. For one, just it has a bitchin' tune, that's one of the reasons I really like it. It's probably my favorite tune of the original Contra. Speaking of the music of the Contras, yeah, I really prefer the first games over the second ones or the third ones for some reason. Maybe it's just nostalgia, but I just think that the feel of the music is very different in any other Contra except for the first one. But oh. Yeah, this level has flamethrower traps, and if you try to rush it and be a little too fast, they will get you and they will end your no-hit run. So now we have to play through the entire game again. So here we are again. Yeah, about the music, I really enjoy this tune and the music of the first Contra. However, even though I prefer the first games, I also like the music of the other games because the Contra games have some really fantastic music. I especially like some of the music in 3 and Hardcore, and even Contra 4. Contra 2 for some reason though doesn't have that much memorable music. But hey, see, this is where we died. Even though it might look like you can, well, make the jump up, sometimes you're a little early and you will die, and this is the bad thing that happened. You don't have to wait for the flame to do this jump, by the way. There's a harder way to do it. There's invincibility pickup down there in that pickup thingy. I don't know what to call it. But yeah, you can get that and catch it in midair and go through the bottom. But I find this much easier. Which might seem odd because it's the flashier way. You can see me waiting a lot more than necessary here, because I want to play it safe for the no-hit run and all that. But, well, the game actually makes you wait at some points. In this part though, it really doesn't. You can just walk under it and jump. But this is one part I really don't like. The grenades in the snowfield, they actually don't make you stop. If you know that, you can just avoid them by jumping. But yeah, not so in this case. This boss is really funny. I like it. It's a frisbee throwing robot. And he's easily dealt with. Just jump over the frisbees, jump over him, and shoot him. Done and done. And this is completely awesome, by the way. Someone make me an avatar out of that. Not that I'll use it or anything, but it'll be nice to have, maybe. But hey, I hope you enjoyed this. Next time we'll be tackling the rest of the game. Until then, see ya.